Hello and welcome. Today's practice is going to be utilizing the wall. So it's going to be about just kind of using the wall for support and to help us with balance. So if you need to, you can pause the video, clear out some space along a wall. You could also use maybe a door, because we really don't need any more space than just the short end of the mat, but you will need to be able to stretch, behind and use the length of the mat. So let's just begin standing, pressing down into the feet. Let's just notice where the body is stacked in space. So ideally our hips are stacked over our ankles. The knees have a soft bend in them, just being aware that we're not locking them out. Shoulders over the hips and head over the shoulders, which for some of us, that means sliding the ears and the chin back. Relax the arms down along your sides. Close the eyes here for a few moments, pressing evenly into all four edges of your feet, that inner edge of the big toe, the outer edge of the pinky side of the foot, pressing evenly into big toe mound and heel. And let's just take 3 deep breaths in and out through the nostrils, inhaling to expand, and use that exhale to press down into your feet and lengthen through the crown of your head. 2 more times, just like that. Full body breaths. And then either with eyes closed or eyes open, make some gentle fists with the hands and just start to twist through the center. So we are in the season of Libra. Libra is about balance. The mantra is, I am balanced. Kidneys, the Libra lives in the kidneys. Kidneys cleanse out the waste from the blood and release it through the urine. So we're just hands are gently tapping on those kidney points on the back, just at the base of the spine. And you could think about the kidneys, the sign of Libra is the scales. So our kidneys, are these identical organs on the back side, kind of resembling scales. And then take your hands up to your shoulders. So one hand's kind of tapping the back and one hand's tapping the shoulders. And release. So we're going to begin Warrior One at the wall. So hands are going to reach up on the wall. Left leg's going to step back. Right leg steps forward. Right knee stacked over the ankle. And in a traditional Warrior One, your left toes would be angled out, but here we're going to do it a little bit differently, where the toes are pressing forward. Our hips are squaring forward, shoulders are squaring forward. And as you are reaching up through the arms and lengthening through the side bodies, you are pressing out through that left heel, getting a nice calf stretch. And then let's bend that left knee and then press through the heel. A couple more times, just like that. And what I love doing practices at the wall gives us feedback and it gives us support. So if we were to do this posture in a class without the wall, we might not be getting the length, because now we have something to press, not only press our feet into, but we have something to press our arms into. So we're going to take this into a twist. I want you to reach left hand down, reach right arm up, and then gently twist the torso toward that right leg. And just keep continuing to reaching left fingertips down, reaching right fingertips up. The side bodies are long. Press into the wall. 3 deep breaths. I am balanced. How do we find that wholeness, that balance, that harmony within? Because it is within us. It is not outside of us. And then gently unwind back to our Warrior One through center. We're going to take the bend out of the knee, micro bend in it, We're going to turn that back heel slightly towards center. And now left arm reaches up and right arm reaches down. We come into triangle pose. So right heel is aligned with left arch. Our side bodies are long. And once again, we are pressing and reaching into the wall. And the wall is giving us that feedback, that strength, and that support. Take a couple of deep breaths. Pressing your hips back, lengthen the crown of your head toward the wall. And bring the arms back through center. You might want to step that left foot out a little wider. We're going to take this into a revolved triangle. So now that we're going to, the right leg remains straight, micro bend in that knee. And just as we did before in our warrior twist, now we're going to take a twist in our triangle. Left hand reaching down, right arm reaching up, press the hips back, draw right hip back, and lengthen crown of the head toward the wall. Take a couple of deep breaths. And bring it back to center. We're going to walk the feet back and come into a downward facing dog at the wall. So ankles stack underneath hips, palms press forward. We're making an L shape with the body. Feet hips width distance apart. And from downward dog, coming into a warrior three, right leg lifts and presses behind you. Try to keep those hips nice and even by dialing that right pinky toe down. And once again, we use the wall here for our balance. We are pressing the hands into the wall as the sole of the foot presses in the opposite direction. We're getting longer from front to back. And then option to take this into a half moon. Left hand reaches down, right arm reaches up, and that right hip stacks on top of left. Breathe. And then coming back through center, down dog. Rising up to a modified plank here at the wall, where our heels, hips, heart, and head are all in a diagonal line. And then Sphinx Pose, bringing our forearms onto the wall, letting our hips come slightly forward, but we're not going to crunch into the low back, so there's still some engagement. And then we begin to take just a gentle back bend, pressing through the feet, opening through the heart. Couple of deep breaths. And release, pressing away from the wall. Shake it out. Shake out the arms, shake out your legs. And we'll repeat that same sequence on the other side. So warrior one now on the left side. Pressing back through that right heel, pressing forward through the hands. So we have that support of the wall. We have something to press into. So we can feel more of that length and strength in the body. Press back through that right heel for a calf stretch. And then we're going to bend the right knee and then press back. Bend it in and press. And then keep it pressing, hold it here. We're going to twist toward left leg. So right hand now comes down and left arm reaches up and we twist. So we're lengthening from the front of our space to the back of our space, and we are also lengthening down toward the earth and up toward the sky. Breathe. And bring it back to center, our warrior one. We're going to take the bend out of left knee, micro bend in the knee, coming into a triangle pose. So your back foot, that heel is going to angle in now. We're going to bring heel and arch into alignment. And then left hand reaches down and right arm reaches up. We press the hips away from the crown of the head. Really focus on that length in the side bends. Feel that support of the wall. Taking a couple of deep breaths. Bringing it back to center, stepping that back foot out just a little wider. We're going to come into a revolved triangle. Draw left hip back. Square hips and shoulders forward. And then the right hand comes down and the left arm reaches up for revolved triangle. Couple of deep breaths. And then bring it back to center. We're going to step the foot back and we're going to come into our downward facing dog, making that 90-degree L shape with our body. Pressing palms forward, lengthen hips back. And then from here, coming into our warrior 3, lifting left leg, dialing left toes down so that left hip tries to remain even with right. You could bring your hand back just to check on the evenness. Could we rest a cup of water on our tailbone? Flex that left foot, press it back. And then coming into a half moon here, if you'd like, start to stack that left hip on top of right. Right hand walks down the wall. Left hand presses up. And a couple of deep breaths. You got this. Libra is when we move from the me to the we. So it's about partnership. Partnership with other, and also partnership with ourselves. Finding that wholeness and that peace within ourselves. We're going to come back to center, downward dog. Rising up to a modified plank. Bending at the elbows, Sphinx pose at the wall. And just being careful that you're not overarching through the low back, creating any discomfort. Drawing the shoulders down toward your hips. Broaden across the collarbones and take a couple of deep breaths. And release. Thanks so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed that practice at the wall. Namaste.